Welcome back. Australia rebounded from their semi-final loss to New Zealand to defeat Wales 21-18 in their third-place playoff at Eden Park on Friday. Although it was a little consolation to the Wallabies after missing out on Sunday's final, they did show some occasional glimpses of their ability to run the ball by adopting a more adventurous performance in a match that had little at stake. Australia inside centre Berek Barnes and number 8 Ben McCullman both scored tries, while Barnes also added a late drop goal and wing James O'Connor landed a conversion and 2 penalties. Australia's victory was soured, however, by what appeared to be injuries to fullback Kurtley Beale and fly half Quade Cooper.
It was a 3v4 playoff. Neither side, by preference, wanted to be in that. But both sides took to the contest with a lot of pride, and I think that was evident in the way both sides defended. It was pretty torrid. We had a high attrition rate, but the boys, showed what it meant to them by the way they stuck at their task. That's the nature of World Cup.
I can't have asked any more of what they've put in and given in this tournament. Like we said, we're disappointed with tonight, but we'll take a huge amount of positives out of the way we've come here and performed and the type of rugby that we've played as well.
New Zealand coach Graham Henry has named an unchanged team for the World Cup final against France at Eden Park on Sunday, keeping faith with the same players who overwhelmed Australia to reach the global showpiece. Henry's team beat Tri-Nations champions Australia 26 in last Sunday's semi-final to set up a repeat of 1987 final, the only time the All Blacks have claimed the Webb Ellis Trophy. While New Zealand have been installed as the overwhelming favourites, history suggests otherwise, with the All Blacks having lost to the French in 2 of the last 3 World Cups.
This French team, we're not sure who's going to turn up, quite frankly, and so we've got to prepare that they're going to be the best in the world. And they've certainly got the individuals to do that. It's just whether they can produce that as a side. And all the word is that they're prepared well and they're very focused and they're enjoying the underdog tag. And they're using as much of the ammunition as they can through the media to get themselves up there. So you're doing a good job for them. So they feel that they're not being considered in this final by a lot of people. We don't think that. We think they're a very good rugby team. Got some outstanding players. And it's going to be a huge final.
With speculation in the media being intense ahead of the final, New Zealand's best-selling newspaper The Herald led its rugby coverage on Friday with an article by former All Blacks captain Wayne Shelford, headlined "Beware the Filth of the French." The French have, however, said that they have shed their reputation for ill discipline and foul play over the last decade and expect no quarter to be given or asked when they go toe-to-toe with New Zealand. Honda's Dani Pedrosa topped the timesheets in both free practice sessions on Friday and is on pole for the Malaysian Grand Prix after today's session. His teammate Casey Stoner, who clinched his second Premier Class title at his home race in Australia last weekend, was the only rider within a second of the Spaniard. Italian Andrea Dovizioso completed a Honda top 3 ahead of Sunday's race. After dominating the morning, Pedrosa and Stoner tussled for top spot for the first half of practice too, before Pedrosa pulled clear. Pedrosa was 0.641 seconds faster than Stoner in the morning session. He stretched his advantage over Stoner in the afternoon with a scorching lap of 2 minutes 1.250 seconds in the closing minutes, with Dovizioso close behind.
Working a lot on the suspension, on the chassis to get the best setup as possible for tomorrow's race. And trying hard on the pole. I was in one section I was coming faster, but then I got some traffic. Couldn't improve my lap time, but still able to be on pole for second time is good. But hoping to do even better tomorrow in the race.
Sebastian Loeb grabbed the overall lead in the final stage of the first day of the Rally of Spain as the Citroën driver continued his bid for an 8th consecutive world title in the season's penultimate race. Ford's Jari-Matti Latvala led Loeb by 16 seconds going into the night stage, but the Finn spun and suffered a puncture to hand Loeb, who has won the past 6 races in Spain, a lead of 30.6 seconds. Mikko Hirvonen, Latvala's teammate and compatriot, who is tied with Loeb on 196 points, at the top of the championship, is 54.2 seconds off the pace in third spot. In golf, world number one Luke Donald lost ground in his battle with Webb Simpson for the PGA Tour money list title. The Briton carded a 1-under par 71 in Friday's second round of the Disney Classic in Florida. Donald needs to finish no worse than second at this week's season-ending event to eclipse American Simpson at the top. He will go into Saturday's third round 5 shots off the pace in a tie for 14, while money list leader Simpson returned a 69 to end the day level with Donald at 7 under 137. And former world number 2 Sergio Garcia, chasing his first European Tour victory for almost 3 years, fired a blistering 8 under 63 to take a 2-shot lead after the Castello Masters second round on Friday. The 31-year-old Spaniard, who was slumped to 49th in the rankings, finished with a 12 under total of 130, 2 ahead of Swede Alex Noren. Surf Dubai is the market leader in the city for surfing activities. Dubai is not famous for its surf, but does in fact offer a good swell, ideal for learning before tackling more challenging surfing destinations such as Australia, Miami and California. Tom Bushell takes a closer look.
When you think of surfing, places like Miami, Australia and California come to mind. What you may not realise is Dubai is quickly becoming a surfing paradise, and not just because of the wave pool at Wild Wadi. Surfing in Dubai began back in the early 90s. That's the time before Dubai Marina, the Palm Islands and also the world's tallest tower, something Sharjah-born Scott Chambers saw the potential in. Surf Dubai under Scott Chambers and business partner Danny Van Doren started operating in 2005, and it's now home to 1,000 members and the leader of surfing activities in the region. But can Dubai become known for its surfing?
I think, as you can probably see today behind me, we do get waves here in Dubai, and it's probably one of the best places in the world to learn. You've got year-round sunshine, the water's always warm, and fantastic waves for learning.
Scott's right. The waters of Dubai are some of the best to learn in. The waves can be challenging, but at the same time are easy on beginners.
Yeah, it's good to learn because it's nice and small some days, and then some days, like right now, it's bigger, so it's more challenging.
Oh, excellent. Best hour of my life, really, apart from the wedding. Yeah, right up there. It was amazing.
The surfing season here in Dubai takes place between October and April. Average wave height is around 2 feet, the highest ever recorded, around 11 feet back in 1997. But have offshore construction projects like the Palm and the World Islands had an effect on the waves?
Unfortunately, yeah, they have. We actually used to have waves all up and down this coastline, but since the construction of the Palm Jumeirah and the World Islands, as pretty as they are, they've actually blocked about 75% of the swell getting to our coastline.
More and more Australians, Brazilians, South Africans and Americans are moving to Dubai. The demand for surfing is growing. Dubai loves to please everyone, and Surf Dubai is another tick in the box. Surfingdubai.com is the website to get yourself involved, and you could go from a surfing novice to a pro in no time. So if you get yourself on a board, you may well find yourself here next year competing in Surf Dubai's Sunset Open, right here in the desert. Strange, eh? It may take me a while to get to Sunset Open standard, but with water temperatures ranging from 20 to 30 degrees, there really are no excuses not to get on the waves. Tom Bushell, 7 National News.
Well, that is your sport roundup. Now, finally this evening, a new mobile phone from Denmark has been revealed. It doesn't do email or have the internet or even a camera, but costs $57,400. The catch is, however, this new phone is made entirely from solid gold. Danish company AZ has said it hopes to sell its limited edition 18-karat gold phones to Hong Kong's fashion-forward elite. The phone took 3 years to develop, and the firm says it will design a new phone every 18 months, producing around 2,000 models in stainless steel and 25 in gold, which uses over 165 grams of pure gold in each phone. Taking 2 days each to make by hand, company officials say they are struggling to keep up with demand.
So the core idea behind the design of the phone is that it has to do a few things really, really well. If you put a lot of fancy technologies, into a product, it tends to become outdated very fast. So the essential things that people do with a phone, the communication that I think is always going to be important, is voice. Great sound, great transmission, great tactility, great feel. So in order to do that, you really have to think about the right shapes, essential shapes that will last, that will be classic.
The solid gold phone has already generated buzz with its glitzy promotion in Moscow, London and New York, and its final launch in Hong Kong this week. And with that, let's take a look at the local and international weather forecast for tomorrow. Before we head out, here are your top stories again. UAE Red Crescent and OIC to sponsor 5,000 Indonesian orphans. Thousands of Dubai residents join the fight to beat breast cancer. And the World Health Organization renews call for social investments in health. Well, that brings us to the end of the bulletin. As always, we love to hear your comments. You can contact us at news@city7tv.com or by calling us on 04367 2230. But from the entire news team, it's goodbye for now.